We'll start the Brainerd Park Board special meeting at City Hall, Tuesday, March 8th at 4 p.m. And we will call the meeting to order at 4 p.m. Roll call.
Tim Voter. Kara Schaefer.
Here.
Andrew Scheitz.
Here.
Kevin Yeager.
Yes.
Troy Rushmeyer.
Here.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You brought it up.
Have to say it that way.
Motion to approve the agenda, Yeager.
Motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda approved. And we can move into unfinished business.
That's just listed on there. It's actually the new business item. Next one.
Exactly what Paul said. New business. You're
All
up,
right.
man.
So in your packet, there should be the plans as they are today. There's also a colored graphic in there. Shows a little bit what we're doing with some of the concrete pattern and some of the finishes and as well as a cost estimate. So really what we're here for today is looking just to get the final approval on, well, more just authorization to bid really. Schedule wise, we're looking at advertising these, let's see, the 18th, next Friday. I believe next Friday is the advertised date. Looking at a bid opening in April. So we're kind of, basically everything works backwards from, there's a 3-week bidding window for the public bid process. So that's how we come up with those dates. So really just looking for final approval on these, or for authorization to bid. And, I can open up to any questions on, cost estimate or anything on the graphics or the plans, or any questions or comments. I can certainly take those too. But
Everyone have a chance to look at this prior to the meeting? Any questions at all?
There's a lot of time and effort put in by the PMT, so I really appreciate the folks that participated in that. It's been a lot of long nights for the last, 3 months? 4 months? 5 months?
I will say, I thought it went
Really well.
very well at those meetings. I think everybody was, pretty well in alignment, and it could have been a lot more difficult process. So I think everybody's pretty well aligned on with everything. And
Yeah, and I would say probably the most was done in the first 3 meetings. I think those are the ones I attended. But, just kidding, just kidding. Yeah, so I think we could move forward if no one has any questions, correct?
You want to start a pool? Did we talk about starting a pool on the bid?
Yeah.
I will pass on it. No, a bid on the, where the numbers were going to come in.
Oh, okay.
A pool. You're going to take the over?
and I guess
We're
I
hoping
will,
for the best, right, Chris?
yeah. And as everybody knows, it's very volatile right now. But I will say right now we're looking. From what we're estimating, I don't know if the amphitheater structure itself is gonna be a goal, but we'll have to wait till bids come out and we take it from there. But we are kind of reworking some things our end, so everything can get in foundation wise. And should we get money a year or 2 down the road, they can just build that, add the columns and over the roof and everything. So we're making those changes now on the plans, and it'll be bid basically with. We're talking about a little bit today, probably bid that, basically just deducting the roof off of that amphitheater, basically taken out of the bid, basically, of how I see this happening, so.
Well, it's listed as an alternate in
Yes.
this, so, yep.
Yep.
Mr.
So that's my
Chair.
biggest concern at this point, is just where numbers gonna come in on that.
And Mr. Chair, and I can describe a little bit what we're talking about here, is when, if you might remember, when the city was awarded the 2.85 million from the Legislative Citizen Commission of Municipal Resources, LCCMR, the original request was for 3.8 million to construct the entire park. What ended up happening is all projects over, I think it was 250,000 when LCCMR awarded them. To get them within their allotted amount of money from the Environmental Natural Resource Trust Fund, they gave all projects over, I think it was 250,000, a 25% haircut. So that's where we went from the 3.8 to the 2.85. And then what we were done is we were directed to adjust our work plan to fit within that budget. So one of the things that was removed was a couple things we did was reduce the estimated cost for the bathrooms. And then we took the amphitheater structure and then the river steps and moved them kind of to an ad alternate status. So the idea was there, if the funds come in favorably, we can build the structure. We'll have the structure designed. So even if the bids don't come in, we have a design structure. So when we get funding down the road, we can build that structure. One of the discussions that the PMT had was what if we wanted to potentially replace one of the features in the base schedule with the amphitheater, because the amphitheater is going to be such a central component to this park. So I did reach out to our project manager with LCCMR and had a discussion with him. And pretty much what LCCMR's opinion is the amphitheater itself really doesn't fall under the umbrella of the Environmental Natural Resource Trust Fund kind of eligible uses by itself. So like, for example, if the city had asked for $500,000 to construct the amphitheater, we wouldn't even been considered. But because it's thrown into the umbrella of the park, it was accepted. So one of the thoughts that the PMT had is what if we replaced the amphitheater structure replaced the teaching center with the amphitheater structure, because they were the closest to in cost. And what LCCMR pretty much said was, well, how they see it is the teaching center has a environmental purpose, while the amphitheater really doesn't from their lens. So we wouldn't be able to swap those out one for one. So that's why looking at the base schedule, which is what we've committed to doing, we're pretty much bound that if we want to build the structure, the entire amphitheater, the bids will have to come in where we can construct everything all at once. But the base schedule, that is what we are committed to building. Anything in the alternate status, those are things that we can build should we have additional funds after bidding. So just a clarification on that.
Dave, did you have something?
That was going to be my question, was I had a little bit of an understanding of what David just shared. I just want to make sure that we make that public, that that was the case, that what we were looking at, there was a lot of discussion about what items could and could not be swapped. And although it would be nice to be able to push for the amphitheater, you still have to follow the guidelines based off the money, or where the money's coming from, so.
I have a question, Troy.
Yeah.
So I see that the canoe and kayak launch is part of the base part, but then it's also part of the alternate. So you're going to be able to launch your canoes and kayaks, but then it looks like it'll get fancier maybe if we get the second portion? What does that mean?
So the river steps are the alternate. So the launch area is going to go regardless. But it's basically the
Actual stairs.
I think she's talking about
retaining wall blocks
A3.
down to that landing.
A3, yeah, I think she's
Yeah,
talking about
A3.
A3, Chris.
Yeah.
Which one?
A3 in your alternate schedule, it's up on the screen right now.
Oh, yep. So I'm, referring to 7.
Oh, okay.
And then A3, it looks like canoe launch is listed with, so just wondering, like.
Is
what
that additional permeable pavers more down to the river level? Is
There's
that
the
what?
one to the south,
Yeah,
right?
that's from the landing at the bottom of the river steps down. That's where you have the,
So that's an alternate.
yeah, actually, those should have been in the base bid. I don't know why those got
This
moved around, but it should be just A1 and A2. There should be what is gonna be in the in the alternate. And then actually some of that cost in A2 is gonna be part of the base bid as well, because this is, again, going back to that change, we wanna build all the foundation, everything for that. So the stage and the foundation is all gonna be built regardless. We just don't know if we're gonna have enough money for the roof and the structure. So we need to get that stuff in the ground as part of the base package. So the stage will be there, but it'll just maybe some knockouts in the concrete for year, 2 years down the road, we can come back and knock those out and then build the roof structure. So part of that cost is gonna ultimately come back to the base bid, part of that 300.
You'll be able to launch your kayaks and your canoes, and then we'll just make it look better later. Is that, or you're saying now actually A3 is part of the base?
A3 is part of the base.
A3 is
Yeah,
part of
that's
the
just a
base,
mistake
yep.
on-
That was a mistake
Okay.
on ours,
Okay.
yep.
And on the river steps too, if you look, Sean, if you go back to the site design, you kind of see that the river steps have been incorporated as part of the kayak launch. Reason they're an add alternate is because in the original concept design, they were their own thing. However, as the PMT worked through the design with WSB, it made more sense to incorporate it into the kayak launch. So you'll still have that path, that ADA accessible path that goes to the kayak launch from the sidewalk. It's just more of in the future when funding becomes available, or if bids come in favorably, we'll build the stairs directly to the kayak launch from the walking path,
The lower
of the
part.
main part.
That's the way I understand it. I don't think it is an error on the bid sheet.
So the canoe launch is an alternate?
I think that the lower permeable is the alternate and the other one is in the base bid. The concrete's in the base bid, but
That was a mistake, that should be in the base bid, because the
Yeah.
canoe launch was.
The
This
whole
sidewalk-
kayak launch is in the base bid.
Yep.
including the
right here-
included the pervious
Correct.
pavers.
It's
Yes.
only the stairs that are are an add
Okay.
alternate.
This right here is the add alternate, just those stairs, if you can see my cursor. And then this sidewalk here, down to this platform, and then the permeable pavers down to the river are part of the base bid.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've actually been updating this since I sent this in to Paul yesterday. So my copy here actually has those in the base bid, and so we're looking at 2.5 right now in the base bid. So that's why I think those river steps and the amphitheater, the roof itself, they're gonna be, we're gonna have to get some good bids, I think, to be able to get those two included, but we'll find out in a few weeks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a motion to approve sending this out for bid, is that correct?
Yes.
So move, Mr. Chair.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second, any further discussion? None being heard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, none being heard, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now what, we packing up and going downstairs?
Public forum.
Is there anyone on public forum?
There's no one online,
I think it's safe to
Got someone in the gallery. He's looking pretty antsy.
forum.
Gabe out here.
We have a motion to adjourn.
So move, Jaeger.
Second, Shape.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Got to adjourn to the,
We're going to adjourn to the meeting on second floor, which I was at previously.
Waiting patiently.
back to.